Alright guys, welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I'm Adam, I'm in the studio still, just going over this defeat, man. What the hell happened? How did we lose that game against FC Basel? We should have been winning it, and we should have been winning it comfortably. But somehow, United have run out, and we've lost that game 1-0, which means FC Basel's hopes of qualification are still alive. Their slim hopes were close to ending after the CSKA win, and Basel were about to draw, but they kept them alive with that victory. They beat Manchester United. And now we have to go into the final group game against CSKA Moscow, needing at least a point to grab top spot. I say needing at least a point. They would need to beat us by at least 5-6 goals to actually stop us from going through top spot. So it's unlikely to happen. But nevertheless, we lost today, and that isn't good enough. That just isn't good enough, because we should have been doing a lot better. The way we started the game, 4-2-3-1, yes, we made a lot of changes, but the changes were like Romero, Darmian, Blind coming in, Rojo started. So these were players coming in that you'd think, that's not a drop in quality. It's not like we're playing Demi Mitchell and Joe Riley and that. And that's no disrespect to those guys. But these are players that play week in, week out in the first team, whether it's starting or coming from the bench. So even though we've rested players and we've changed up the team, we had enough today to get a result. And I feel like there was only a handful of players that actually did well. Anthony Martial in the first half. I thought Paul Pogba was our best player in the first half. Marcos Rojo did very well on his first start since... his first start this season. I think is his first start since April, apart from the under-23s. So we had a strong enough side out there to win, and we didn't. And what concerns me is the likes of Darmian and Blind. They're fringe players. They've got futures to play for. So yes, you can think, all right, we're already through in the Champions League, more or less. We only need a top point to get top spot. Take our foot off the pedal. But no, lads. You've got to fight with Valencia and Ashley Young for your spots. So why aren't you putting in these performances to say to the manager, I want to start against Brighton on Saturday? And they didn't do that. And I felt, in the second half at least, the performance got really lacklustre and really shabby, and we just weren't at the races in the second half. In the first half, when we had Paul Pogba pulling the strings, doing everything, we were looking good, and we were looking like we were going to score, but that just didn't make it didn't turn into a goal. And when we were in the second half then, and you're in a situation where, do we go for this game, or do we just sit back and get the point that we need, you're in two minds. And I think once we got to 0-0 at half-time, and then we get to 60 minutes, that's when you could see FC Basel growing in confidence, because we haven't scored yet. We're not really getting at them. We seem happy with a point. They need to win this game. Their fans are getting more confident because it's still 0-0 against Man United. And you could tell they kind of felt like a goal was coming. I could feel a goal was coming. And when they scored, I was not surprised that that goal did come in the end. Performance-wise, Romero, I thought he looked good. We got the best backup goalkeeper about. We don't need to complain about Romero. He's good. At the back, Rojo, as I said, very good. Darmian Blind, okay today. Darmian and Blind, they weren't okay today. Smalling did okay today. That's the one I was on about. Matic and Herrera doesn't really work. When Matic came on, and him and Herrera didn't really work. Why isn't that working? Is it the balance? Is it not there? Do they need to play as a 3 only? Because whenever Herrera and Matic have played, it's been a 2. So they need to work on that. Pogba, before he went off, was very good. Fellaini, okay, but it's... How did we lose this game? I don't know. FC Basel are shit. This isn't the Basel that beat us in 2011 and had Shaqiri and Fry. I don't even know who their players were. I don't know who scored. So it's really annoying. It's really frustrating. And as Viviano says, he's a little bit gutted, but I can't be too disappointed, because at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. We've lost, yes. We don't want to lose games, of course. But it's not the end of the world. We've still got 12 points out of 15. We only need a point to finish top of the group. And that's where we want to finish, top of the group. And I maybe feel that not only was the performance a bit lacklustre, but maybe because the players didn't really need to get a result today, maybe that brought a drop in their levels. That's not a good excuse. Of course it isn't. But maybe it explains it a little bit. And I think deep down, Jose Mourinho won't be too fussed about this. Yes, it would have been ideal to get a result, get a win. And then that brings us into the game against CSKA, meaning we can rest players before the Manchester City game. But now it maybe means, we need to take it a little bit more seriously. But at home against CSKA, we have to be getting a point or more. So really and truly, it's not the end of the world. It's not a bad result. Although on paper, when you look at it, we've lost. So yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, there were negatives today. But let's not overreact. Let's not start panicking, because we've seen games like this before. And hopefully it doesn't mean too much. And like Alex Neal says in the old comments, my mate Alex, we go again on Saturday. That sounds extremely scarce, Alex, but I'll let you off because I love you. We do go again on Saturday. We've got Brighton on Saturday, and that's before we've got away to Watford and away to Arsenal. So it could have even been today that Jose's thought, we've got these 3 games coming up, lads, you just take your foot off the pedal. Now that's not a good thing, but it could have been. So I know I'm kind of making excuses for the players here today, and that's probably not what I should be doing. But that's not to cover my disappointment. It's just to say that I'm being a little bit realistic. I know that this isn't the be-all and end-all, and United will still qualify. So I find it hard to get overly angry, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm happy with the way we are so far, but I'm not happy with today's performance, and I'm not happy with today's result, and we need to do better against Brighton on Saturday. And to be honest, I have no doubt we will. I genuinely have no doubt we will. Jose Mourinho wouldn't allow for this kind of performance on Saturday in a game that we need to win. I know he wouldn't. And I know we'll have the likes of Valencia back. We'll have the likes of Pogba starting. Lukaku will start. Of course, they'll start. I know they started today. Bailey's going to be back. De Gea's going to be back. So we'll have a first 11 out there again. But the big disappointment for me today is the fringe players, the likes of Darmian, the likes of Blind. They haven't done themselves any justice, and they haven't shown the manager that it should be starting games, which they should be. Rojo, on the other hand, he was absolutely fucking amazing, and he gets my man of the match because I absolutely love Marcus Rojo. So, Marcus Rojo, man of the match. Manchester United, not good enough, but it's far from over, and we don't need to panic just yet. That is pretty much all I got to say today, because I got to shoot as well. I got to get out of this office. I got to head home. Been here all day, but it's been a good day despite the result. Why would they have to ruin such a good day by losing against Basel? The fuck's wrong with you guys? Don't you know we just interviewed Cantona? Jesus. Interview with Cantona is up on Full Time Devils tomorrow, so subscribe to them. I'll put the link in the description. Like, comment and share, guys. I have been AdamMcKola. Like I said, my man of the match is Marcus Rojo. Thank you all for getting involved today. And for now, guys, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.